This was Joplin, Missouri. A typical, charming town of middle America, yet, despite its humble size, was immensely beautiful, with high-quality American architecture making up its built-up area. Joplin was no old money, posh community, as it was a mining town from the late 19th century through World War II, specifically lead and zinc mining, and was at one point a world leader in this, as well as the natural hub for southwest Missouri in terms of trade and rail transport. Joplin's mining success did lead to some cultural investment, such as the beautiful Carnegie Library. The town also became known for the criminal duo Bonnie and Clyde, who spent much time in and around Joplin, and whose home became a tourist attraction. Joplin was along the famed Route 66, also boosting tourism in the local economy. To this day, many of Joplin's beautiful buildings are celebrated and are on the National Historic Registry, and for good reason. Old Joplin is one of those towns that perfectly represents what small-town America once was. Walkable, beautiful, quaint, and sternly rooted in America's architectural heritage. But after World War II, the mines that established Joplin's economy were closed, population growth flattened, and things weren't quite as booming as they once were. But then, the inevitable happened. Urban renewal. With the advent of the interstate highway system, businesses and residents wanted to be closer to I-49 and 249, and so much of the historical downtown was razed, along with surrounding neighborhoods. Many of the attractive buildings that had come to characterize Joplin's beauty were torn down. This is what became of Joplin. Something we should all understand is that, while I've spoken about the fall and destruction of several major US cities, and it is these transformations that turn heads and make for dramatic headlines, that small-town America also was severely affected by mid-century urban planning. While no highway was plowed through Joplin city center like what happened in more major cities, their seemingly innocuous construction on the town's fringes still wound up having a major strain on Joplin's development, and led to its destruction. But the same could be said for a never-ending list of towns across the country, from Cairo, Illinois, to Alliance, Ohio. Modernist urban renewal was detrimental in wiping the rich culture and history out of these places. But this isn't the end of the story for Joplin. After all, Joplin's population has never been higher than what it is now, and so it makes no sense for it to be also so desolate compared to what it once was when the town was half the size. In the past several years, restoration efforts have started to rise in the town. Ever since the destructive EF5 tornado, there's been a lot of effort to rebuild in a way that brings Joplin back to its glory days, and you can see this on Main Street especially. A lot of work has been done on facades and storefronts, all of which have collectively made a huge difference. And look here at nearby Joplin Avenue, where a new sidewalk pavement and lampposts have added so much character to the street. But on the other hand, here is the new Joplin Arts Complex, which is a typical, boring, modernist-style box. While it may hold novelty value now for being new and shiny, it will inevitably become dated, and it goes without saying that this new building does not fall in line with the past beauty that Joplin is affiliated with. This caught the eye of Magnus, a musician and entrepreneur from Norway who runs BATF Holdings, a real estate and development company that aims to build beautiful classical buildings, squares, and streets to enrich cities and towns throughout the US and Europe. Their strategy is finding closed or struggling historic venues that would be relatively low cost to invest in, but can become thriving destinations with a significant return on investment. In Joplin, the beautiful Carnegie Library has recently caught fire in what has been said to be an act of arson. Suddenly, one of Joplin's most important buildings is in need of restoration. But it must be said that even prior to the fire, the surrounding area of the library is quite empty and lacking. And so this presents the perfect opportunity for BATF to not only restore the library, but the surrounding area as well, creating a new town square and boosting the city center. Just look at these designs and blueprints. It's simply incredible and hard to believe that what is currently an empty space can be turned to something this great. The library will become a cinema and events center, with a rooftop garden, an office space, and even including residential units as part of an extension. On the other side of the street, the current parking lot, there will be a square with a fountain, retail, and a church. And even though this is very preliminary, the design for this looks absolutely brilliant. Entrepreneurs like Magnus and companies like BATF are exactly what we need in order to facilitate the beautiful development that we want from this country and our cities and towns. But it needs increased support from people like you, who care about this sort of thing, to grow and make some serious strides. I recently had the privilege to be interviewed on Magnus's podcast, Beauty and the Faith, which I'll leave a link to in the description below, and I highly encourage all of you to check out his work and show him some support. Hopefully, for Joplin's sake, this development can happen, as it will benefit and enrich the town for generations to come. And beyond that, if this development proves to be successful, that it will inspire more projects likened to it across the country, restoring the forgotten treasures of American culture. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.